always be with you. Chairman Park Han-gil.
한 번 더 뜨거운 박수로
Please give him a big hand. Please welcome him.
예. 오랜만에 분위기가 좀 사는 것
Hello
같습니다.
everyone. I can feel like the very active movement. We have a new 7,000 chairs. We bought new 7,000 chairs, but we couldn't really use them at all for the 7 years. But I can see a large audience. I can feel like it's like the Success Academy that we have that we used to enjoy before COVID-19, and the government announced to lift all the limitations for big events. Now we can actually have offline events like before COVID. So you have faced a lot of difficulties, but still you didn't give up. When the big is really, really strong, your kite would fly higher. So, and as the kite, all Atomians have become even more successful even before the COVID-19, the difficulty, and we are renewing ourselves day by day, and this innovation would continue every day in the future as well. And this fast-changing world, actually, we need to move faster than those changes, and that way we can survive the changes. Now, when we saw many successful people, new leaders, Royal Master Chang He-ran, and many new leaders. Congratulations from my deep, deep heart. And Jadik, Malay for Malaysia, Crown Master for Malaysia. It is astonishing. So we have a Crown Master outside Korea, Jadik. Thank you for your effort and congratulations. I believe we will be able to see even brighter smiling face from you. Now, because of this COVID-19 pandemic, actually the far distant future have come to us earlier than we expected. The online activities, many experts predicted that the online world would come to us, but it has become accelerated by the pandemic, and we are much more familiar with the online activities, and we will be able to create the synergy effect from online and offline hybrid events. So this is the era, post-COVID-19 era, and COVID-19 era is ending very soon. So we need to change ourselves. The education training system would also change. We will strengthen our online training system, and we would also develop further the offline training. And that doesn't mean that we will stop doing the online training. ABS and Atomy Business School, the MBA course and 4-year course are almost done now. And among them, for the startup, build up, level up, and jump up. So we have 4 years of courses. And what is more important for members is to take the 3rd-year course, level up course. So in April, we opened that course. So startup and build-up course, actually, these are something that you already know. The first 2 years are about something that you already know, so you can start from the 3rd year. And after taking the course.
2학년, 2학년 과정들 쭉 한번 훑어보시기
And you
바랍니다.
can also take a look
아,
at the
이건 내가
first
알고
grade
있던
and second
내용이지만은
grade
처음
course.
애터미에
You
들어오시는
can see
분들에게는
that
어떻게
this
안내를
is
하면 되겠다. 어떤
very
프로그램을 권하면
basic
되겠다.
knowledge
이것이
about
정리가
Atomy
되실 거예요.
that I
그래서
already know. But if you
여러분들은
take a look
이제
at those
레벨
content, then you can
과정, 3학년
also
과정부터
learn many
우리가
things
4, 5, 6에서
because
오픈을 했기
you can
때문에
learn how to introduce
상당히
Atomy
많은
to those
분들이 지금
newbies.
접속해서
And
이미
we already
공부를
started the
시작을
third
했고요.
grade
또
course,
지금
and
이제
from
새롭게
this
해나가는
month, April,
분들도
so we
있습니다.
have many
학교의
students
세상은
taking the course, the
교육도 이제
third grade
바뀌고
course.
있습니다.
Actually,
티칭이 아니고
teaching is
러닝입니다.
changing. Education is
그래서
changing. It is
가르치는
not
것이
about teaching. It
끝나고
is about
스스로
learning.
학습해서 배우는
So
세상이
it is
다가왔다 하는 것입니다.
the main
그리고
part of the
이
education is not teacher.
학습하는 그
What is more
시스템의
important is
러닝
student
시스템의
learning
장점이라고
many
하는
new
것은
knowledges by themselves.
자기 수준에
And
맞도록
the benefit of learning
자기가
system
이
is
학습
that
과정을
many
선택하고
students can
자기 능력에
choose what they
맞도록 속도를
need,
조정할 수
and they can
있다는 거예요.
also
그래서
change the
예를
speed.
들면은
For
정말
example,
공부 열심히 하고
if you work really, really hard,
날밤새가면서 공부하는
if you don't
스타일이다.
really
이런
sleep
분들은
at all,
ABS 과정을 한
then
달 만에도
you can
마칠
actually
수가
finish
있어요.
the ABS course within a month if you work really, 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 really hard,
그래서
day
그렇게
and
하시는
night.
분들이 있는가 하면은
But
또
there are also some
현재
people
직업
who
전선에 있고 해서
are actually doing other
시간을
work.
이렇게 많이
They
못 내는
don't really
분들은
have
또
many time. So
뭐한 과정을
they
한 달 동안
can
한다거나
actually
뭐
take
이렇게
one
해서
course
뭐
for
1년
1
안에
month.
마친다거나.
So they can take
그래서
their time. They can
여러분들이
finish the
ABS
course
과정을 마치게
in
되면은
1 year.
새로운
So you
전공을
can
하나 대학에서 새로운
have
전공을
your
하나
own
하는 거나
speed.
마찬가지고
So after
MBA
finishing, completing
과정은
the course,
석박사
an
과정을
MBA
마친
course
거나
is
마찬가지예요. 아마 돈
equals
벌기로 따지면은 웬만한
to
대학에서 대학 졸업하고 석박사 과정 마친
master's
것보다
degree.
돈은 조금 더 들어올 수가 있다 하는
And
것입니다.
after
거기 뭐
completing the course, you can
1년에 막
actually
10억씩
earn
버는
more
이런
money than
일들이
those usual
박사학위 받았다 해가지고
master's
쉬운 것은
degree.
아니다 하는 거예요. 그래서
Actually, those with master's degree, for those with master's degree, earning a lot of money is not an easy job, but it's possible for Atomy's MBA course.
이렇게 기억을 하는데
Many people think that the forklift is very impressive, but that much money is something many leaders are earning like every year. So maybe we should give you that much cash with forklift, not just sending the money to your bank account, because many people don't really know there are actually a lot of people earning that much money every year. I really envy them. So this is about the ABS course. You can learn many knowledge from the ABS course. And we provide a Korean language right now, but it will be other languages would be available later on. So the training and education will be done automatically. Actually, at Atomy, I always say that just hang out first, and then after hanging out, you can start working. And with ABS and other training courses being fully utilized, you will never have to introduce Atomy on your own. The ABS would do it for you. Everything would become automatic. So you can be gathered together and offline. And you saw the rabbit today, right? You can watch those performance. You can enjoy the time together. So rather than just doing the training, so we can have some communication with each other, saying hello to each other, rather than just education and training. So training would be done by the ABS, the online course, and the other things, those emotional communication would be done by Success Academy and offline event. So in the future, you would tell your friends, the non-Atomians, that you would say, let's go and watch the performance. It's really, really funny. It's interesting. And they would really come to Atomy. So that way, the business spot would also become automatic, and that's our goal. That'll become absolute business. So we are in the course. We are on the way to that goal. So to realize that dream, to reach that goal, we need to work really, really hard right now. Leaders, if you are a leader, you should never sleep. As a leader, you don't really separate your time. This is for many people say work-life balance, but I don't really like the word. Many people say this is a new trend, this is a new concept, but it's been around. The word has been around there for many years, from many years ago. Many of my our parents would always say it is important to hang out rather than working hard. But how about their retirement life? Actually, they didn't really work as young people, as a young person, so they are now working. They're still working. They are very old, but they are still working. So from until 30 years old, you study, and between 30 years old and 60 years old, you work, and after 60 years old, you should retire, right? But those young people from 30-year-old and to 60 years old, they pursue work-life balance and they don't really work really hard. Then what does that mean? They, after the retirement age, they should work even harder. They cannot take a rest. So I believe the people should work really hard for the 30 years. And then after that 30 years, you can actually have your work-life balance because you don't really have to work. You are 70 years old and you are still working. It's nonsense. It isn't a work-life balance. But I would say this is my own balance. Of course, that's right. I'm 70, but until the end of my life, I will work. And I saw many successful Christians did it. So I will take a rest in heaven. There, you can't really work. So here, I will work to the fullest. And heaven, I can take a full rest for the rest of my second life. But here, in my first life, I will work until the end of my life. So it is really important to work harder when you are young, and that's why I don't really like the term work-life balance. In Atomy, we have a new promotion, right? Semi-sales master, right? Sesema. We call it Sesema. Or 판매사, not 판매사. I like the terms. So after becoming auto sales master, you can earn about 1K or 2K or 4K dollars. But as a semi-sales master, you can earn about 1K dollars every month. To become semi-sales, you need to have about 1.5 million PV on the both
세미
legs.
세일즈 마스터가 돼서
And as a semi-sales
조금은
master,
오락내리락 할 수가 있어요. 그것도 거기도
you
이제
can
엔가가 적용이
earn
되기 때문에 그래서 그렇지만 이제
about
100만 원
$1K
전후에
every
그런
month
부업자 소득을
as a
받을 수 있어요.
semi-sales
그러면
master.
이제 뭐가 좋아지냐면은
So
세일즈 마스터 되기가 좋아지는 거예요.
it'll help.
그러니까
It'll
단순히
make it
소비만
easier
하고
for
있는데
you
어느
to
정도
become sales
소비자가 밑에
master.
있는 소비자, 소비자를 좀
So those
거느리는
who
소비자,
have
아직 세일즈
the
마스터 되려면
customers
한참
with
남았어. 반도
some
좀 안
groups
됐어. 그런데
of
그 사람에게
customers,
이
they can
판매사
become semi-sales
세세마가
master
있으니까 이
and they can
세세마를
earn
좀
some
해보라
money.
해서 내하고 손잡고 같이 한번 해보자 해서
So
이렇게 거들어서 하다
those
보면은
customers can
거기서 이제
become
반쯤
a
반쯤
leader.
반쯤 반쯤 이렇게 하는 사람들이
That
나오게
way we can
되면은
increase the
나는
number of
좀 더
semi-sales
쉽게
masters.
세일즈
And you can
마스터를
persuade
유지를 할
many
수가
other
있다.
people,
그러니까
your
가끔
customers,
징검다리식으로 세일즈 마스터
to
하던
start the
분들은 되게
business as a
또 세일즈
semi-sales master.
마스터로
And that
바로
way,
가지
if you
않겠느냐
are a sales
이렇게
master,
생각을
you
하고
can
전체
maintain your
전반적으로
position
이제
in a
밑에 세일즈
easier way.
마스터 하다
And that
말다
way, you
하는
can also
사람들이 오토
become
세일즈
auto sales
마스터가
master
되주면은
as well.
이제
So it is
다이아몬드도
a
오토
win-win
다이아몬드가 되고
system.
그래서 한
That way, you can
직급씩은 좀 더
also
올라가는 그런
the
이제
sales masters,
효과가
the
있으리라고
original sales masters, will become
기대를
the
하고
masters.
있습니다. 자 이제 우리 이제 4월
That's what we
전반기부터
expect.
이
From the
판매사
early April,
세세마가 시작이
we started the
됐습니다.
system. We
뭐
started the
벌써
semi-sales
조직이
system. Now we
술렁술렁하고
have a lot of
이걸
new
또 잘
groups
이렇게 타이밍
getting
맞춰서
bigger
잘
and
하는
bigger.
분들이 있어요.
There are many
대개 회사에서
people
이런 걸
who are
발표를
active in
해주면은
those
그때
in the promotion
이
activities.
분위기에 맞춰가지고
And
막 열심히 막 움직이는 사람이
as
있는가
there are
하면은
many
뭐
people
되는가 보죠.
who
그러고 되긴
are
하죠. 그러고
very
다른 사람은
active,
되는데 자기는
but
안 되는 거예요.
there are
이건
some
안 되네
people
그러고.
who are
그런 거
not
있으면
taking
안
any
되고 뭔가
action.
이런 것이 하나가 턱 던져졌을 때는
But
좀
it
호들갑을
is
좀 떨 필요가
really,
있어요.
really, really important
그래서
to become very,
여러분들이
very active
이거 가지고 한번 해보자
with some
해보자
new
하고
announcements
파트너들에게
from
막
the
이렇게
company. And
여러분들이
with the
동기부여를 좀
semi-sales
할
promotion,
필요가 있다.
you should
그리고
encourage
여러분들이
your
좀
team
기대를 해야 되는
members
거예요.
to
와,
actively
이
participate in the
판매사 이
system.
제도가
And you need to have
엄청난
a high
효과가 있을
expectation.
거다고 이렇게
So you
여러분들이
should
생각을 해야
think,
되고
you should
그렇게
think
얘기를 해야
in your
돼요.
mind, and you should tell other
그런데
people
뭐
that
그러고 이렇게
semi-sales
수고하고
master
있으면
would
이게
be
별거 아닌 것이
groundbreaking.
돼버리는
But
거지만은
if you don't really have
이거 기가
any
막힌
expectation,
거라고 떠들고
the result will
다니는
not be very good.
사람한테는 그것이 기가 막힌 것이 되게 되어 있다 하는
So
것입니다.
if you don't do
지금 우리
that, you will not see the
초창기에도
true
보면은
value of
뭐
this semi-sales
임페리얼 마스터 되면
promotion.
10억을 지게차로
So
떠주겠다고
although,
말도 안
become
되는 소리
an
하지
imperial
말라고
master,
하는 거야.
it seems too long
너나
away
너나가
from
너나.
sales master.
네가 10억이나
But actually, this is the start. You will be able to get that 1 billion won prize, and you will drive your dream car just by starting with semi-sales master, because this is the first step to become successful in Atomy. So if you right before you are taking the challenge, you think this is impossible to become imperial master. How can I become an imperial master if I'm just a semi-sales master? It will take so long. If you have those kind of mindset, you won't be able to become an imperial master at last. You see, a lot of our imperial master, they're undergoing their hard times. They have literally living in poverty for a long time. But they have faith, they have belief in Atomy, and they believe that they will become imperial master at last. And now you can see they are living their best life. And also in the overseas branches, when our imperial master, when they are still working as a business member, they don't even speak foreign language, they don't even speak English, but they still go to the US, the States, European countries to give out lectures. So if you don't have confidence in yourself, you don't believe you can do it. I can't believe you guys would think like this. You have seen all these people become successful. So what are you
그렇게
hesitation?
자기가 정확했냐고.
Why do you look down to yourself?
다 자기 판단대로 됩니까? 그런데
You will never
그
become
어떤
successful
판단력 가지고
if you look down on
어디
yourself.
갔냐 그러면서 딱 판단하고
You have to
그렇게
trust
똑똑한
yourself
사람들,
and you have to be smart.
벌칙이
Trust
똑똑해지면은
yourself
계속 바닥 인생을 살아.
or else you will just
그런데
stay in your
어떻게 보면
miserable
여기
life.
크라운들, 임페리얼들 보면은
We have our crown leaders here. We have our
박한길이가 막
royal
저렇게
leaders
꽁꽁
here.
띄우니까 그냥
You know, they seem so successful sitting here,
판단력이
right?
부족해갖고 따라온 거예요. 어떻게
But
보면은.
back then, they are just
그런데
ordinary
판단력이
people.
부족해서 따라왔는데
If they don't have the faith in them back then, will they be able to sit here now as a global leader?
다 이런 현상들 초등학교밖에 안 나온 분들이 다
They are all
그러니까
ordinary
뭐가
people. They
진짜,
didn't receive good
똑똑이고
education.
누가 옳직인지를
They
한번
are
잘 판단해보라
poor and
여러분들이
they were once
판단하고 있는
poor
그
and they
판단이라고 하는 것이
have a lot of
지금,
miserable accident in life. They have
그냥
financial
불안에
burdens.
앉아가지고 말이야,
But still,
그거
they
맞는
believe
말이야,
in
맞는
themselves and they believe
말이야.
in
맞는
what I
말이야, 내
said to
말이.
them. So
사회적
that's why they
경제가
have
있단
become so
말이에요.
successful. So it means that what I'm saying is true.
이게 과학적으로도요. 다
You
이게
know,
사회 과학적으로 다 증명이 되어 있어요.
there are a lot of
그래서
surveys,
자기가
studies about
그렇게
how
된다고
one's
믿으면은
mental
되어진다.
life, thinking will
그래서
change
생생하게
their
상상을
actual
하면은 상상한 대로
situation.
되는
So
것이
if you have
성공의
your
법칙이라고.
imaginations,
법칙이라고
if you believe in
그러냐면은
yourself,
그거는
this is the law of
누구든지
success. You will be
그렇게
able
하면은
to become
반복해서 또 되는
successful.
거예요. 또
And
되고
when
또
you
되고 항상
teach
그것이,
your partners
동일한
about
원인을
this,
제공하면은
they will also
동일한
be
결과가
success
나올 때
and
이거를 법칙이라고
will
그러는 거예요.
will
법칙이
duplicate
아닌
all
것은
the success
뭐라고 그러냐면,
experience,
예를 들면
and
진화론 이런 것처럼
this is the law of
그
success.
법칙이 아니요 증명된 바가 없어.
It was
그러니까
being proved
그냥 그런
already.
학설이 있다. 누군가 그렇게 얘기한다. 이렇게 얘기한다.
It is not something just mentioned by an old man. There are a lot of evidence proven that the law of success is true.
그 성공의 법칙의 핵심은 뭐냐면
And what is the core of the law of success? Is you have to trust yourself.
그런데 믿는 대로 되다 보니까
But sometimes
성경에도 보면 네 믿음대로 될지어다 그랬단
people
말이에요. 성경 말씀은
will be
진리예요.
afraid if
그런데 네
they are
믿음대로
thinking too
되리라고
much. They
하는데
have
안 된다고
to,
믿는
so they're
사람도
too
또 믿음대로
confident
되는
about
현상이 있단
themselves. They're afraid they will be failed in the future.
가능성이 100%가
But
있어가지고
sometimes
믿는 게
we don't
아니에요.
have to focus
그 믿음이라고 하는 것은
on in the future, because if you hesitate in this moment, you'll never succeed in the future. I am very certified about this.
창업 당시에 거지였는데 무슨 10억을 지게차로
When I was that poor, when we first started the Atomy business, we don't even have an office. And I tell all these members that I'm going to give them 10 billion Korean won when they become imperial master. You know, do you think normal people hear that they will believe me? I'm such a poor, miserable, middle-aged man, but you know what? We did achieve all these miracles because we have faith in ourselves and we have faith in each other and we have faith in Atomy.
이번에 애터미가 경영학계에도
And some
상당한 센세이션을 일으킬 것 같아요.
managing survey studies, they take Atomy as a sample to analyze and to investigate how Atomy works. And there's a book, the name is Super Fuchsia Generation. So, a professor from Ewha Women's University, a very famous professor, majoring in economics, he wrote this book about Atomy. So you might think, what is Fuchsia? Fuchsia is a combination of volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous. which means that our society is very, the future is very unstable. So how can we solve this VUCA society? There are a lot of study about this, but these surveys, all these papers, is just theories. These are just based on some theoretical principles, some textbooks. But Atomy, we are a living sample. We are a living example. We have a lot of evidence to show that this is a module that can solve the VUCA society. So, what is about the super VUCA generation? All these like the volatile, the uncertainty, the complexity. In this environment, how can we do the business and become successful? So the key is to have a compass in hand. So now all these professors are studying about the super VUCA society. And in Atomy, we use our management module, we use our system to prove that we are the next generation business. So this is not easy because all the achievements we have, the education program we designed, these are the evidence. So within the super VUCA generation, what should we do? How can people overcome the difficulties? How can people run the business? So Atomy will become the textbook for them. I don't know if you guys realize I'm also a business professor. And I know some of you don't like to read, but I really appreciate if you can read this book because there are a lot of useful informations. Even if the content is a little bit difficult, you found yourself don't understand the things inside. But you will find it interesting because although the first half of this book is all about those theoretical contents, is very complicated. It's about the complexity of society. So the first half of the book will be very complicated. I know that. But however, the second half of the book, which in the part of analyzing the VUCA society, they use Atomy, the business module of Atomy, to explain things. So as you guys are so familiar with Atomy, you will find the second half very interesting because you will see how the scholars, the professors from those famous university, how they would describe Atomy and how they see Atomy. And when you read the second half, you understand everything. You will also have confidence because you suddenly know what the first half was talking about. And you will be easily understanding all these theories, all these complicated words.
어떤 새로운 모델을 제시하는 그래서
And
마지막 이제
also, by
에필로그죠.
reading this
마지막
book, you will
거기에다가
understand
윤정구
how
교수님이 뭐라고
Atomy is
써놨냐면은
doing and how many recognitions we're getting from not only the society but from the
적당히 이렇게 경영을 하고 있는
scholars
소위
and
뭐
professors.
대기업이라고 하는 그런 경영자들에게는 이 애터미가 아픈 가시가 될
And
거다. 이런
Atomy,
얘기를 거기다 써놨어요. 그러니까
all the
굉장히
things about
자극을
Atomy written
주는데
in this
가시처럼
book
찌르게 되는. 아니 이런 거 가능해? 이런 거 안 된다고 그래서
will be
이런 건
very
될 수가 없다고 해서
fascinating.
안 했는데.
And you will see Atomy in a brand new aspect.
이게요, 이제 우리 애터미가
So in the future,
이런 거예요. 경영학 이렇게 공부를 하다 보면은
even if you don't have, you didn't ever study about business or finance, but actually in our study field we have something like sample analyzing. There are a lot of studies studied about Samsung, Google, like all these famous companies. So there will be a lot of professors analyzing how they become success. And now Atomy is also one of the samples.
거기에 예를 들면 이런 거예요. 영혼을 소중히 여긴다.
And also
하는 부분.
within the books, there will be a chapter talking about cherish the spirits.
10여 년 전에 애터미
So
창업할
10
때
years ago, when I first
뭐가
built up this
핵심
company,
키워드였냐면 혼이
when
핵심
I think
키워드였어요.
about the keyword, the core of our business, I was thinking about spirit.
경영에 혼을 불어내야 된다. 일에다가 혼을 불어내야 된다. 신바람.
So spirit is very important.
그래서 신바람 경영 막 이런 얘기들이 나올 때
But at that time, not a lot of businessmen would talk about things like this, like spirit,
일본 중국 막 이쪽에서
like vision.
혼백 그래가지고 뭐 헷갈린다 막
And they found it very unfamiliar because it is a very difficult, complicated concept.
영적인 부분들이 들어와야 된다는 거예요.
But however, this spirit is very important for every human, so as the cooperation.
하나님이 영이고 하나님은
So what I'm talking about spirit, there are human spirit and there are the spirits of the God.
성경을 보는 저는 그거를 발견하는 것이 어렵지 않았어요. 그런데
And
요즘 경영학
also in the Bible, spirit is such an important concept. Because our society was changing, the world is changing, but what doesn't remains unchanged is the spirit of every human. It can bring us out of all the obstacles. They can solve the difficulty for us. So Atomy want to act like a spirit to everyone so that they can find hope in the darkness. That's why we put cherish the spirits in our motto, because we have to have the spirit in our heart, even if we're doing the business. And also in Atomy, we talk about the philosophy of cow and philosophy of babies. This is actually the same concept. So in Atomy, we don't treat our member as a tool for wealth or for. We treat all the members as a part of us because everyone have their spirits. We have to respect everyone's spirit. Just like the philosophy of cow and philosophy of babies, the farmers will raise the cow because they want to get the milk, but for the mother who were raising the children, they raised them because of the spirits, because they love them. So when all these professors in university professors, they found Atomy to become success in this future society is because of the philosophy we have. We cherish the spirits. They are so surprised because no other corporation would talk about things like this. So now we are spreading our message to the world, and people will recognize us. Because back then, the MLM industry has such a bad image for everyone. But Atomy overcome all these prejudice, we overcome all these bias, we break the bias, and we go to another next level, a total different level with other companies. So we have to become number one in the world just by respecting every spirit of every human. We will not treat the grannies who is like running a small stalls as the useless person. We will cherish their experience and help them to become the imperial master. And this is possible in Atomy. We have to become a auto sales master, we have to become auto showroom master, and we eventually will become imperial master. We have to have this kind of dream in our heart. We have to have all the big dreams in our heart, and we have to be crazy about it. So if you are crazy enough, you will be able to success, and you'll be earning 1 million, 10 million. You have to grab this opportunity. This is not hard. This is not difficult. We have to dream big. Don't talk about you don't believe yourself, you think you're not doing good enough. You are all the future imperial masters. You will become the most successful person among your friends. So think about those things. Now you might be, there are people rejecting us, there are people talking bad things about us doing the MLM business. But when you become a successful leader, when you become imperial master, you don't care about the things people said. You can do anything you want. So all these small obstacles you're facing now, they will become nothing in the future when you become an imperial master. So when you know the law of success, which is to dream vividly in your heart, in your head, you will not care about what people said. You will only focus on how you're going to become successful. So that's why we need a goal. We need a big dream. At first, when I established Atomy, I have this big dream in my head. Even though I was just driving a second-hand car, even I was just living in a rental house, but I told everyone with my full confidence that I will be giving them 10 million won, 1 billion won cash in cash if they become imperial master. See how successful they are now, my imperial masters. You must be paying a lot of tax these days, right? It's important. Don't forget to pay your taxes.
많이 벌고 잘 내야 돼.
If you earn a
여러분,
lot,
세금 내는
you
거요.
also have to pay
대한민국은요 부자가 되면은요 절반은
taxes.
세금을 내야
You
돼요.
have
자기
to
버는
return
것에.
part of your
어?
wealth to the
절반 1억
society.
벌어가지고 한 달에 1억 벌어가지고 절반 낼래요. 500만 원 벌어가지고 10%만 낼래요. 예? 500만 원 벌어가지고 50만 원만 낼
So
건지.
we must dream big. We want to pay a lot of taxes.
많이 내요.
It will be okay if you have a lot of money and you will be fine giving out your wealth back to the society. It doesn't affect your life because when you become successful, the money is not important anymore.
세금을 내는 거예요.
So for me, I think personally, I think paying the taxes is the happiest time in the year for me because it means that I become successful and I can return to the society and I can help others. So don't think that paying taxes is government taking your wealth away from you. You should think the other way. You're helping the others. Then you'll be very satisfied about it and you'll be very happy about yourself too. Because some people really hate paying taxes. They think someone take their money from them. But actually, that's not true. It is fine to give back to the society. And also, after you pay your taxes, you can also make donations to compassion. You still have a lot of money to use for yourself. You will have a lot of money left for yourself. So for me personally, as you guys know, I have to pay a lot of taxes, but still I sponsor 1,000 children from compassion. Some people ask me, wow, 1,000 children, wouldn't it be a little bit, would it be a burden to your financial situation? But when I read their letters to me, I receive 1,000 letters every year, and when I read them, everything just worth it. So I don't really think giving money to these children will become a burden, but I feel really satisfied. I'm very happy about it. So I believe the members here, you guys are sponsoring your children through compassion. And even though when I was poor, even though when Atomy was not in a big scale, when we are just starting up, we used to donate part of our income to the children who needed help. But at that time, of course, we cannot donate a large amount. But now, since we have the ability to do this, so we should do it. And these days, I go to check on the Compassion and Atomy homepage. I saw there are more and more people are sponsoring the children, and I was really, really happy to see it because I believe all of our members, we have a good heart. We like to serve in humility. And recently, we are become a part of CBMC, which is a Christian committee. So a lot of Christian entrepreneurs, they group together and they do voluntaries. So we are now a part of them. And before, when Korea is going to civil war, we receive a lot of help from this committee too. So as now we become a successful, our company has become successful, we would like to help the others too. And so that's why we are now very proudly to announce that we are part of them. And they asked me to become the vice president of Korea branch. So I said yes.
그동안에 이제 제가 중앙의 이사로서 이렇게 섬겨왔는데
So I have been always promoting charity and serve in humility. So I'm very happy that I have another identity that I can spread this message to more people. And I'm very happy that they chose me to become a vice president because they recognize how good Atomy is doing now, and they agree with our Christian-based philosophy. So I'm very happy to tell you guys about it. And tonight, you guys will be writing your life scenario. So this is very important. At first, I would like to ask all of you to write or update your life scenario every week, but since I believe you need more time or you have to work, so I encourage you, you must update your life scenarios every month at least. And after you finish it, you have to tell your friends, you have to tell your families, you have to tell your partners about your dreams and your life goals. So some people might not, agree with what you want. And also some people, when you first met them, it's hard to just open a topic about Atomy by telling them, oh, there is some absolute product, absolute price. But when you start with your dreams, you're telling them their goals, you're just like normal chatting, it will be more easy for them to understand Atomy and for more easily for them to attract to your stories, that they are interested in listen to your life goals. And when you tell them your ultimate goal is to become an imperial master and you will get a 1 billion won cash prize and what kind of house, dream house you're going to live. So they will also have this sketch of vision about Atomy. And also, we want to go to different countries to travel, and you would like to do voluntary work. So these are the things you should tell your friends and your families. And don't be shy. And you have to talk to your friends more frequently about it. And starting from the beginning till the end, you have to keep updating them about your lives. So this is how our life scenario works. So it's important to repeat updating your life scenario and repeat telling these people about your dreams, and you can start to tell them more about Atomy.
So you can start from small stories, like the Atomy has a really good product, like toothbrushes. That's how many people say it is a good success tip. But I don't really agree with it. You should not tell them about small stories. You should tell them big stories like monthly income $1 million. Actually, if you tell them about big
그걸 계속
stories.
반복하면은
They would
점점
take it
더
as a small
크게
story,
받아들이게 된다는 거예요.
and as
그래서
time goes
여러분들이
by,
이
they would
비전을
become
설명함으로
more and more
말미암아서
impressive
사업자를
about our
찾아내는
vision.
거고
So it is
제품
important
설명을 통해서 소비자를
to tell
찾아내는
them the
거다 하는
storytelling
거예요.
about the
물론
vision,
그것이
and that way you can find consumers.
비즈니스로 인도를
That way you
하면은
can find
당연히 제품을
leaders. Of
사용해 봐야
course,
되니까 또 소비자가
in order
생기겠죠.
to
또 소비자를 또
in
찾다
order
보면은 이 제품에 대해서
to
만족을 하면 나도
have more
이걸로도
leaders,
비즈니스를 해볼까 이렇게
include
비즈니스로 전환하는 경우도
more
있겠죠. 그러니까
recruit more
소비자로부터
leaders. Of
시작을 해서
course, you
비즈니스로
should
가는 사람도 있고
first
비즈니스로
recruit
시작해서
consumers.
소비자로 가는 사람도
Of
있다
course,
하는 거예요.
there's the other
그런데
way around. Like
여러분들이
some people would go from a
말만
leader
얘기하는
to
것이
a
중요해요.
consumer, or the other way
그래서
from consumer to
말도 안
leader.
되는
But
얘기
what is more
한다고
important for the both
얘기를
cases
좀 들을 수도
is to tell
있지만은
them
그
big
중에는
stories. Of
귀담아
course,
듣는
some
사람들이
people would
생기는
say
거예요.
this is ridiculous, it
여러분,
is not realistic,
이
but there
비즈니스를
are still some
인구
people who
소비값이라고 얘기를 합니다.
believe in the vision.
무슨 얘기냐면
So
바다에 들어가 가지고
the story, the
이 속에 안에
vision
진주가 들었을까
is
안 들었을까
actually
마지막
the
살피고 이러는 것이 아니고
shell
무조건
of
조개라는 조개는 다
pearl.
바구니에 담아 가지고 나와 가지고
It is not
까보는
that
거예요.
you can actually,
까보고 진주가 없으면 버리면 되는
no one
거예요.
knows
왜? 바다의
whether
깊은으로
there
눌려 있는
is
것이
the
조개다
jewel
하는 거예요.
in
그러니까
the
또
shell.
들어가가지고 오늘은 이쪽으로
Then
들어가고
what
그다음
you should
날은
do
이쪽으로 들어가고
is
그다음
to
날은
gather
이쪽으로 들어가고
all
그다음
the
날은 한
shell
100m 가지고
that you
들어가고 그다음 날은
can.
200m 가서
It's not
들어가고
that
온
you should be worried
바다가
about
진주 조개 밭이기 때문에
is there a
바다는
jewel
넓어요.
inside the shell?
그러니까
No, no way. You shouldn't
있는
do that. You
조개라는
should
조개는
first gather
다 까보는 거예요.
all the
그래서
different
여러분들
shellfish,
이
all the different
다이아몬드라는
shellfish,
보석은
and
만들어지는 걸
then later
가지고
on you
발견되어지는
can
거다
actually
이렇게
find
얘기합니다.
one
흙
jewel
속에
out of
다이아몬드가 묻혀
many
있을 수가 있어요.
shellfish.
흙 속에
Or
여러분의
there can be
밀테리얼
a
파트너가 묻혀 있을 수가
diamond
있다는 겁니다.
under the
그거를 그냥 씻어보는
ground.
거예요. 조개
You
까듯이
should
까보는
give a
거예요.
try.
아니면 버리면 되는
No
거예요.
one
왜?
knows the future,
세상에
no one knows
공헌하는
the
것이
result,
사람이에요.
but you should at least give it a
그래서
try. And
그냥
it is
한
important to
100사람, 200사람,
increase the
한 1000명
possibility, and
버린다고
you
생각하고
should
그냥 막
approach
변해보는 거예요.
100
그냥.
people, 1000
아이,
people,
1000명
or
버렸더니
10,000
사람 없어요?
people. It doesn't really
아니에요.
matter how
대한민국에도
many times
나만이
you
말고
are
천만이
rejected.
있어요.
We have a
그러니까
lot of
30천만의
people in this
에토미 사업 할 수
nation.
있는
We have
연령대에
50
들어가는
million
사람들이란
people in
말이에요.
Korea.
그러니까
So you should
여러분들이
give it a try.
사람
You should
없다고 하지
approach
말고
them. You should
담대하게
try to
접근하고
recruit them. It doesn't
아니면은
really
버리고
matter
또
if
다음
you are
날 택하고
rejected.
그 대신에
So
한 번
you
얘기하고
should
그걸로 끝나는 것이 아니고
contact
또 얘기하고 또
as many
얘기하고
people as possible.
얘기를
You should approach
해놓고요.
as many people as
여러분들이
possible.
얘기하는 것이 여러분의 일이에요. 그
So
사람의 마음을
telling them
변화시키는 것이 여러분의 일이라고 생각하면
about the Atomy story
얘기했는데
is your
마음이 안
job.
변하면
Your
여러분들이 마음이
job
변해버려.
is
답답해가지고.
not your
그러니까
job is
여러분들은 어떻게
not
하느냐?
changing their
그냥
mind.
던져.
Your
얘기
job
던져.
is
던져.
just telling them the story.
던져놓고 이
Tell them the
사람이
story,
마음이 변할까 안 변할까
and you should
애터미할까
be
안 할까
worried
내가
about
고민하지 말고
the results.
그냥 던져놓고 나는 편히
You should
자.
just
그다음에
tell
또
the story
와가지고 또
and
던져.
have a good sleep. And next day, you
그러면은 그
should
얘기를 받은
tell
사람이
the story
고민을
to
하게 되는
others. And that way,
그리고 여러분 10번
that
얘기하지 않은
person
것은 한 번도
would
얘기하지
be
않은
thinking
거라는
about the story,
또
not you.
명심을 좀 하세요. 그러니까 한 번 얘기를
It
시작하면
is
이
ever
사람한테
better
10번은 내가
to
얘기를
tell
해야
the
되겠다
story 10
하고
times
얘기를 하라
than
하는
just
거예요.
one time.
여러분들 뭐 가족들
Do you
친구들
understand
있으면은
me?
그냥 얘기
If you,
돌리는
you, you
거예요.
have all the
애터미
friends and
사업하자.
family members, you just tell them,
뭐라고
let's do the Atomy.
그리고 그 사람들이 했던 얘기를
Just tell
잊어버리세요,
them
여러분들이.
and forget
잊어버리고 또
forget
똑같은
it,
얘기 또
forget
하는
about
거예요.
it. And later on, you can
또
repeat
잊어버리고
it.
또 얘기하는 거예요.
You just forget
그러다 보면 그
that you
사람이
have
변하게
told them
그런데 그
about
중에 어떤
Atomy.
사람들이 있느냐?
And that way
정말
you can
지금
recruit
비즈니스를 찾고
people.
찾던 사람들이
And
있는 거예요.
there are
시대가 지금 막 변하고
those
있단 말이에요.
people who
앞이
were
불투명하단
looking for
말이에요.
a new business
똑똑한
because
사람들이
the
서로
world
이
is
시대를 어떻게
very
갖고 갈 것인가, 어떤 비즈니스를
the
해야 될
instability in
것인가,
the world
내
is
비즈니스가
growing,
지금
everything is
계속해서
not
이게
very stable, and there
장래가
are
보장이
still
되는
some
건가
people
하는 것에
who
대해서
were looking for this
생각을 많이
kind
하는
of
거예요.
business. Then
그런 사람들이
if
일을
you
잘하는 거예요.
approach
그러니까
as
현재
many
일을 잘하고 있는
people as
사람들, 소득이
possible,
높은
then you will
사람들일수록
definitely be
애터미를
able to
권해야 된다는
find
거예요.
that right person.
애터미 얘기를
You should
하다 보니까
tell
뭐
many people about
500만 원
Atomy.
벌고 1000만 원 벌고 있는데요 지금 막 이러니까 막 아이고 나도 그 돈만 벌려면
And
이런 애터미 사업 안 해도 될 건데 이 따위로 생각하고 있으니까
Many people
사업이 전달이
are
안 되는 거란 말이에요.
actually, many
500만 원,
people
1000만
doubt
원 버는
themselves.
사람을 보면은
Many people doubt the
당신이
atomy
이걸
business
언제까지 그 돈을
after
벌 수 있느냐?
looking
60,
at
70, 80, 90
those
가지고도
people
그
who
사업을
are earning
돌겠냐고.
like 5K
그때는
or
어떡할 거냐고.
10K
그리고
dollars a month.
먹고 나면은
But
남에게
what you should
뭐냐고.
do is to
자식들
tell
지하철을
them,
사줘야 될 거
can you
아니냐고.
earn that
요즘 집값이
much like
올라가지고
forever?
어?
Can you even buy a house with that
돈을 엄청 벌어야
income?
된단 말이에요.
You should not
우리
envy them.
여러분들 한 달에요.
You should doubt them.
진짜 1억씩 벌지 않으면은요. 자식들한테 집 사주기도
If
힘들게
you
생겼어.
don't really earn
여러분들
like
세금 내고 뭐 하고 이거 하고
$100K
나면은
a month
아, 일
after
년에 10억
paying
번다고
all the
해갖고 집 사요?
taxes, can you
그것도 한
actually
5년은
buy a
버텨야
house?
돼. 요즘 저기 저
If you
뭐
earn
가까운 집
like
하나
$1 million
살려고 그러면
a
걔네
year,
자녀들
can you
둘이면은
buy a
그집
house
살라고 그러면 10년을
for your
살아.
children?
그럼 내 거는 어떡하냐고. 자녀들 10년.
It's not
나보고
enough.
시간이 얼마 안 남았는데.
Then
그러니까
how
내 것도
about
생각하고 자녀들 것도
like
생각하면은,
$10K
한
a
달에
month
1억은
or
기본으로
$5K
좀 벌어야만이,
a month?
어?
Many ordinary
여기저기
people
좀
actually
베풀고
envy those
살아가고,
salarymen, but you should not envy them because
그래서
it's not a
여러분들이
big
목표를
money.
크게
As an
잡아야 돼요.
Atomian, what you should do
여러분들
is to set a
머릿속에
higher
떠오르는
goal.
것은요, 여러분이
In your mind, you
정신병자가
should
아닌 이상
set a
가능한 것이 떠오르는
goal.
거예요. 가능하다고
What you
하는
can
것이
imagine
100% 된다는
is
것이
something
아니고 1%라도
very, very
가능성이 있기 때문에
realistic
떠오르는
with
거고,
even 1% of
도전이라고 하는 것은
possibility.
100%
You can take
확실한
on
일을 도전하는 게
challenges,
아니에요.
and that challenge is not
그냥
something that you can
세파
achieve
신고도 올라갈 수 있는
100%.
뒷동산 가면서
It is the goal,
내가
your
오늘
dream.
집산 도전한다고
Is
하는
not
그
something
사람이
about
이상한
a
사람이에요.
very something easy to
정말 가다가
achieve.
산소가
This is
부족해서
not an
고산병이 걸릴
ideal
수도
dream.
있고 크레바스에 빠질 수도
All
있어.
dreams and all goals,
그냥 미끄러워서
all
못 올라갈
desired
수도 있고
goals
폭풍 때문에 사람이
are
날아갈
very
수도 있는
difficult to
그런
achieve. On the way,
높은
you
산,
might
5천,
face
7천,
a lot of
8천
difficulties,
그런
and
고공을
the
갈 때
top
성공할
would
가능성이
be
100명 가다가
very,
한 명이나
very
성공하면
high, and
그런
only
산으로
one
올라갈 때
person
우리가
out of 100
도전이라는 말을
people
쓴단 말이에요.
would be able to achieve
그래서
that dream.
여러분들이
That
이
is
애터미 사업
the true dream.
목표를 크게
So you
가지세요.
should
그것이
have a
100%
high goal.
가능하기 때문이 아니에요.
That's not because you
제가
can achieve
여러분들한테
that
15
100%.
시계차로 떠준다고 하는 일이
I tell you,
그때 내가 거지였는데
you can earn
그게 100%
$1 million
가능해서
with the
그렇게
forklift.
큰 소리를 쳤겠냐 하는
And it
거예요.
is not actually,
그런데 안 될
and I
안
told
될
you
수 있는
this
부분이 더
like several
많지만은
years
저는
ago.
안 되는 거 신경 안 쓰는 거예요.
And I told
된다,
you that
된다.
I told you my
계속
dream
그것만
about the
보고 가는 거란
forklift,
말이에요. 여러분들
not
어떤
because
동굴
I
안에
believed
갇혔다고
that
하면은
it's
저
not
동굴을
because the dream
입구에
was achievable
바람기만 한
100%.
사람 빛이 보이면은
It was
어디로 가야
because
돼요? 빛이
there was
이
only
어둠에 비해 가지고 1%도 안
there was a
되니까
possibility,
그 빛을 무시하지 않는
even
거예요.
if it's only 1%.
1%도
So
안
all
되는
the
그 빛을
desired
향해서
dreams
가면은
are
빛이
something
점점
very hard to
커져서
achieve.
결국은
And with that
돌고
1%
되면
possibility, if you work really, really hard,
이게
and if
성공의
you believe in
원리하고
yourself,
똑같아요.
if you believe in the vision,
그래서
then
성공 못하는
definitely you can make it
사람들은
100%.
대부분의
Those who are
사람들은
not
빛을
successful,
보는 게 아니고
most
어둠을
of
보는
them
거란
actually
말이에요.
see the dark side, not the bright
가능성을 보는
side.
것이
They don't
아니고
see the
불가능한
possibility,
것을
they see the
보고 있는
impossible
사람들이
things.
그 사람들은
They
다
see the
실패하는
downsides.
거예요.
That's why they
여러분들은 뭘
become
보겠습니까?
the
가능성을
failure.
보고
But what you
여러분들
should do,
머릿속에
you should
떠오르는
see
것은
the
된다고
possibility.
믿고
What you can have in your mind
외치면서
is
나가면은
something
모두가 성공자가
that is very
됐을
bright.
것이다.
The
저는 이
possibility.
일을
Atomy has already
증명해
proved that.
감사합니다.
Thank you.
다시 한번 꿈과 열정으로 강해주신
Please give him a big hand. Thank you for your very impressive speech. His passion is really, really impressive. All those who are in Zoom, you might really want to be here, right? Hope we can see each other in the O-Road next month.
구독, 좋아요 눌러주세요.